Welcome back. This is your midday check-in. This is day 3 of a 21-day meditation journey called Relief. And we are exploring and we are practicing and we are returning to relief twice a day. We are making it a priority, just as we make eating 3, sometimes 4 meals a day a priority to our physical body. We are making returning to this space of the soul. We are making that a priority to not just our spirit, but to our mind, to our emotional body, and to our physical body. Everything benefits when we make this just as normal as getting 8 hours of sleep at night and brushing our teeth in the morning and at night before bed. Those habits. And we are setting a spiritual habit so that we can come into the place of power. It's like putting your phone on the charger. You need that time to recharge, to refocus, to get back to what matters, which is just enjoying the moment in front of you, relearning how to do that, coming back to that space of the heart that you were in as a child and you knew exactly how to enjoy the moment. You weren't worried about making something of yourself or all the things that come into us as our mind, that mind that we're all attached to, develops. And we start to get lost in that mental world and we lose our connection to the soul space, what we really are. We forget. And we are lured out into that mental plane. And we start suffering and chasing and striving and struggling and trying, and it becomes exhausting. And then we reach a point somewhere along the line where we've had enough of that. It's time to get back to the basics. It's time to remember. So let's check in. Today was about the self and about observing those aspects of the self that exist on the mental plane that are developed, that parts of the self that we're developing at every age, and all the things that they believed, all the needs that they had that were either met or unmet. And those mental aspects are still walking around with you all day, every day. Sometimes certain aspects are quiet. You don't hear much from them. And then something in life will happen that triggers them. And they're very loud and disturbing the peace within you. And that's okay. We go through phases with our mind. We go through rest phases. We go through very active phases. We're wanting to, no matter what phase we're in, just keep returning back. Keep resetting. If we don't reset, if we don't reclaim our focus, at least once a day, if we don't reclaim our focus away from the mind, take it away from the mind and put it on this space of the soul, this space of relief, the mind builds too much momentum. You're possessed by it consistently for days, for weeks, for months. And the more you stay in that space and your focus is held there on the mental plane and everything that the mind is saying, the longer you're engaged with that, completely possessed by it, the deeper down into suffering, into imbalance, into pain. The deeper you go, the more tangled you become, the stronger the momentum is. And sometimes all that pops you out the other side to begin the rest phase is your mind completely exhausting itself. Those mental aspects running around in that tidy mind house run so much, talk so much, are angry so much, fuss so much, try to prove their point so much, talk to you about everything that's happening, analyze, judge others, attack others, whatever it's doing inside your head. It does that to such an extent, or attack you, create confusion. It does that so much. And you're just sitting in this. It's torture. It is actually torture. If you've ever watched any shows on TV where someone is being tortured, they'll do sensory overload. And they'll keep the lights on, or they'll turn the temperature down real low so the person's freezing, or they'll turn on really loud heavy metal music all hours of the day. It's the same. When your mind is totally possessing you and is so worked up, it is so in its pain, it's so in its identity and its ego and struggling to maintain that identity. It's torment. And your mind will finally, after much despair, you are its roommate and you are trapped in there with it. After much despair, it will exhaust itself. And we call this sometimes hitting rock bottom. And you reach this point of, I just don't care anymore. I'm just as low as I can go. I'm too tired to even care anymore. And that, if you can stop it right there before your mind convinces you to take some type of action, right there is surrender. Your mind will then become quiet. It's too tired to talk anymore. It's exhausted itself. It's exhausted you. You've reached mental exhaustion, and then there's quiet. There's surrender. And whether you know it or not, there's great power in those words. I don't care. I actually am not concerned about that anymore. When you can begin to say those phrases to your mind, when your mind it's not being one of those hurt inner aspects, it's just being a bully. It's just attacking. And it's just bringing up the same topics over and over and over. Maybe you've worked with it. Maybe you've stopped and cared for it. Maybe you've talked to it. Maybe you've done everything that you were supposed to do to be a very good caretaker. But this part of your mind, this aspect of your mind, just has a habit of beating you over the head with the same topic, pushing you, pressuring you. And that's when you can use the phrase, you know what? I I just don't even care about that anymore. I'm so unconcerned. That has nothing to do with me, with what I am. As I am here, connected to my soul space, I know from this space of the soul, I am unconcerned about any of that, about any of what's going on in my physical world, about any of what's going on with another person in my physical world, about anything other than my relationship to this space of the soul. And what do you care about from that space of the soul? Relief. Staying in relief. That's it. Everything and anything outside of that is the mind's concern. It cares a lot. Everything's a big deal. Everything's important. Everything's life or death. Everything is filled with pressure out in that mental plane. In that soul space, if you are residing in your soul space and you ask yourself, well, what am I concerned about from this space? Nothing. Only your alignment. Only that you stay here. Only that this is your space. Only that you hold this space. The space is all you care about. The space and staying in this space is all that you're concerned with when you're living from your soul space. And then as you go about your day and you walk around in the physical world, holding that feeling of relief, you will operate in your present moment, just taking care of what's in front of you. That's it. This is in front of me. I want to take good care of it. And then the longer you sit in that space of relief, and you're unconcerned with all the things that you used to be concerned about with your mind, you begin to notice as you're going through your daily life what supports peace and order. Even in your home, in your physical environment, you'll start noticing everything surrounding you when you were lost with your mind, when you were totally possessed with your mind. You weren't paying attention to what was right in front of you. You weren't thinking through, hey, do I actually need this? Do I use this? Or did one of the aspects of my mind just go by it because it was coping with something? And it didn't know that it doesn't use food and shopping and all these things to cope. It has me, the caretaker. It didn't know that, so it was using its old tools, and I was along for the ride, and now look at what I'm in. Look at the situation. And you notice it, but if you're sitting in that space of relief, you're not attacking yourself for it. You're not judging yourself for it. You just notice it. You become aware of where you've landed, what you have woken up into. And then you slowly start to change it. Oh, well, I want this to feel better, and so I'm going to clean this. Or, oh my goodness, I hadn't noticed my sink needs cleaning. Oh, let me get something and clean that. There is no stress. There is no pressure. It's just being in a space of relief. Not being bombarded by mental content. holding your focus, not on everything. I'm not saying the mind's not still in there talking, but you're not focused on that. You're not engaging with that. You're not arguing with that. You're holding your focus here. What is right in front of me? What is happening right now? Am I sitting alone in a room? Let me look at this room. Does this room support peace and order and a feeling of relief in my body? If yes, carry on. Enjoy that room. Enjoy being in it. Enjoy looking around at the beauty of it. And then maybe something else will catch your attention and walk towards that. Go enjoy that. Maybe you live in a beautiful place. Maybe you live by the ocean. Maybe you have a pool. Maybe you woke up in actually a very beautiful environment. Maybe your mind didn't have negative coping skills and it actually created beautiful things around you. But there were other aspects of your mind that never let you enjoy those because they were busy talking to you about relationships, or they were busy talking to you about some other problem. They were distracting you from what a healthy aspect of your mind had created for you. You were never able to enjoy it before. And you woke up into that reality. Go enjoy that now. And your mind will say, no, we can't enjoy it. We got to go work and we got to go make more. Why? If you're never going to get to enjoy it, why are we making it for? Didn't we make it so that we could sit back and relax into it and feel relief? Isn't that what we were doing all that for? When does that end then? When does the time come then that I get to sit in it and be in it and enjoy it? The time is now. The time has always been now. But if you have a mind, an aspect of your mind that's out of control, and it's never enough, you'll have to shift your focus off of that aspect and put it into right now, into relief. That's what you were doing all that for with that aspect of your mind anyway. You wanted relief. Hey, you got it. You've got a beautiful space to sit in relief in. And maybe if you don't, hey, start somewhere. It will change. You can't sit in this space of relief and not have a physical world side effect. You can't sit in this space and then come out of this space and something not change in your physical world for the better. Just as you can't get lost in your mind and not have the physical world side effect of making a mess somewhere. It's just how it works. I'm going to give you a moment of silence to take yourself to the space of relief. If you're not already there, you can use sound. Just want a single focus. Find something to put your single focus, to make that your single focus. The mind can't do that. The mind has many focuses, and it wants you to not just focus, but obsess, and it has a lot of things it is talking about. This is a single focus. Staring at a flower. staring at your hands. Closing your eyes and focusing on something in your imagination, an image. If you're out in nature and you hear birds, pick out one bird and the sound that they're making and focus. Close your eyes and intently focus on that one thing. And allow that focus to take you deeper and deeper. Try this now for the next 60 seconds. Very good. You are, of course, welcome to sit and allow that feeling to grow, for you to go deeper into relaxation, for you to go deeper into this space, for you to settle in more and more. Or, of course, if you're ready to get back to your day, you can do that. I will be scheduling these meditations, if you're following along, as they're coming out live each day. If you're listening to the recording and this is years later, you can disregard this. But if you want to know exactly when they come out in premiere, they will be scheduled to come out at 6 a.m. Central Standard Time for the morning focus, and then 2 p.m. Central Standard Time for the midday focus. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you again in the morning for day 4 of relief.